Cox Enterprises buying OpenGov in a deal that values that company nearly $2 billion. OpenGov provides cloud software solutions for state and local governments, which the governments use to track finances, permits, planning, and more. Joining us right now, first on CNBC, is OpenGov founder and CEO Zac Bookman. Also, Joe Lonsdale, OpenGov's co-founder and now chairman emeritus. Lonsdale is also, of course, a founding partner of 8VC. Good morning to both of you, and congratulations, because, Zac, I remember back in the day, you know, when you first began this journey, and it has been quite a journey, because I remember what OpenGov started as and what it is today. Tell us about the journey.
Thanks for having us, Andrew. Really nice to see you. Joe and I and a couple of technologists from Stanford started OpenGov almost 12 years ago. I was living in half a shipping container in Kabul at the time. I was an advisor to General McMaster, and Joe and the team, we had a vision to bring the cloud to government. And a mission-driven company was the way to do it. Our mission is to power more effective and accountable government. And it's been a total grind. It's been a hard slog, but we have 1,900 governments now, and I couldn't be more excited to be partnered up with Cox, and looking forward to the future big time.
Joe, what was the decision to sell the company? And do talk about the transition, because I thought there were some very interesting lessons about, you know, how you start a company and what the original vision is for the business, and ultimately how it changes.
Yeah, you know, Andrew, it's always bittersweet to sell these things. It's definitely something to celebrate, though. You know, in this case, it truly was a mission-driven company. This was a hard thing to build. Zac had to double down, really learn a market that's a really tough market, selling to these governments. But you know, it's amazing. We've attracted hundreds of people that are just obsessed with helping these governments, making them work better. Which, you know, today with all the populism going on, it's fun to have a group that's just so focused on making things competent. And you know, the partnership with Cox, to tell you the truth, because it's a mission-driven company and because Cox can put huge amounts of resources into this company to make it grow even faster, to combine more things into the company. You know, when you have governments that like to usually buy a lot more from just one company, it turns out it makes sense to be acquisitive and to use what you already have built to bring in new technology and then bring it to everyone else, you know, into the cloud more quickly. So it makes a lot of sense here to partner with them for that.
What's interesting also about your business as a startup was you bought a couple of businesses along the way.
Yeah, we bought 8 companies along the way. As Joe said, if a government finds a vendor that they trust, they want to do more business with that vendor. And so it's all about finding the right adjacencies, delivering value, building trust, building long-term relationships. So permitting and licensing, procurement, enterprise asset management. That was a deal we did. In fact, Cox underwrote the deal a year and a half ago for Cartograph Asset Management. And we now manage, you know, the city of Los Angeles is getting ready for the Olympics, maintaining their streets and lights and sidewalks using OpenGov. So a lot of the guts of a government and, you know, how to be more efficient, how to adapt to change, how to strengthen public trust. That's really what we do.
Okay, Joe, you're always trying to make government more efficient. We're always talking policy. How can we make things better? Now that you've seen the insides of at least how a lot of these state and local governments operate, how much more efficient can you make it? And if I put you in charge of the IRS, what would you do?
Well, if you put me in charge of the IRS, I'd probably use a lot more AI. Unfortunately, I'm not sure my friends would appreciate that. You know, you can make governments a lot more efficient, a lot more effective. And you know what you really learned? I obviously give government a hard time, as you know, for not being as efficient as it could be. But when you have people in these governments, not all of them, but you have some really great people there who want it to work and who are willing to take the risk on new software, better software. And it frankly was inspiring to be able to work with so many people over the last decade who said, you know what, the stuff we're doing is wrong, it's broken, it's not as good, let's do the right thing. And with OpenGov, we proved you can get actually thousands of governments to do the right thing, which is pretty awesome.
What's the next low-hanging fruit, if you will? I'm not saying this was low-hanging fruit, but in terms of maybe it's high-hanging fruit, given that you helped obviously create Palantir, also helps with the government, defense, and the like, and now
you know,
this.
Yeah, no, as you said, it was definitely something that's very, very hard to do. Zac had to like triple down and basically just like, and it's amazing how hard he and the team worked and what they had to attract. It's kind of an unnatural act to build a $1 billion company in this space to help these things. You know, I think there are more ways to apply AI on top of these SaaS tools. I think OpenGov is going to be doing that. I think there's lots of ways we can hopefully take jobs. You don't want to outsource jobs in the U.S. governments, but you may want to make people 3 times more efficient with the technologies and the AI that's possible on top of systems like OpenGov. You're still going to see a lot more of that the next 10 years.
Any thought of taking this company public at any point? Are the markets closed? Did that factor into any of the thinking around selling the company versus continuing on independently?
So we've been partnered with Cox for the last few years. They're diversifying this, one of the great American family businesses. It's 125 years old. And we share values, we share culture, we share big vision and mission. I don't think it's impossible, Andrew. I think 1 in 3 chance in the next few years we might actually do something like that. But for the time being, it's business as usual, and it's the beginning today. It's part of what's so exciting. The whole company is really fired up to get into the market, continue our mission to power more effective and accountable government, and do it with a partner that has staying power and that cares about customers, cares about employees, cares about doing the right thing at every turn.